What up? I feel like talking. Um, so yeah, I feel like talking a lot. So I like chatting. I like talking. So I'm like, why don't I just talk? In that case, um, I am really strange thing just happened where I was on video chat with somebody who claimed that I'll be doing travel agent job, and I just wasted my time for the scam. And basically that that was so strange and unethical. There's so many businesses that scam people, um and she ended up thinking she can scam and steal subscriptions. She wanted subscriptions for basically all types of businesses. She's like, we're like evolution something, and so yeah, just scam. And she was so rude and unethical, and she was trying to kick off people from different countries and stuff like that. So crazy. I guess um with that type of job, like travel agent, like it's perfect because you don't need like college degree, and like I don't have that. And basically that it says you don't need it, like any types of representative, any business or agent shouldn't require a college education, but each business has different types of skills that you need. So it might vary to business and to business by business, and qualification might vary there. But yeah, like there must be some jobs without college degree. My friend Laura sends me Christmas present and some soap. Oh, smells so good. So that's cool. Excited. Okay. And I do feel the box was also tired because of sleeping, locking, and very uncomfortable sleeping issues. Like, um, it's like, what category should I put it in? Sleeping issues. I'm lonely, I don't have sex, and I cannot sleep, or I'm having a chaos problems, mentally flashbacks with basically American scamming me and I cannot sleep. I mean, you know, whole entire like night there is like this is like really basically worse and like um version of like basically video, because like I do have video camera and I have no idea how um sort of work it comparing to with like Wi-Fi. I mean, it's on through my phone, and it's like I cannot figure out the mode on a camera, and then basically it's like I cannot figure out um basically I'm like the storage on a video camera code I upload straight up alive, and I don't have to edit the video because I'm like I am not sure how to edit the video as well. And then storage on the memory card, I'm like, is that gonna hold up for me to upload this video? And basically I am into it, the videos, and I am into it basically. Talking and talking a lot, like people saying that I cannot stop talking. Okay, I suppose I'm into it talking at the same time, or like I feel like it's automatic. For example, activations talking. I feel like it's talk, automatically talk, and basically I like it or I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's all like basically um imaginations. One way my fantasies, it's like not happening, and other ways of it, it's like um I just, I just, I just don't even pay attention to it. How fake basically English is and basically beliefs. And so I'm like, I like, for example, talking. Well, maybe I like videotaping it, and so I'll put it basically some type of category. And but yeah, it's not high quality the videotaping it. Uh, but so yeah, I wish I had at the same time this people on a video cameras and basically videotaping me and be like don't stop talking, do not stop talking, and then like 24/7 videotaping me. I mean, yeah, I've heard about it at the same time that people don't like it. So I'm like thinking, what is that? After you become famous, then it's like you don't like it. And so I'm like, maybe this one is basically um, becoming, for example, famous and basically um, some types of category of it. By the way, yeah, my, for example, eyeshadow is like, yeah, I'm missing the nails like at the same time. One nail, other one not. Um, it's looking like pretty shiny. Um, I'll just put a quick makeup on and then lots of it. Foundation, and whatnot. And so basically, um, then they change their mind. Then after that, it's like after I become famous, I really don't like it. Maybe that happens, but obviously, I've lived my life where it's like I have no idea like what it is on this universe to live some people's basically activity life and then be like turn that off. I would have no idea about it. But yeah, I don't know. Um, you know, I don't know. Anyhow, regardless. Um, so yeah, my friend gives me some present and it's like she gives me eyeshadows as well, and basically so cool. And I like she gave me a previously this lots of other eyeshadows and really do like them. And so I really like makeup. It does I can't live without it. It does really make like me a lot. It really does provide me like just beauty inspirations, and so just reminds me of beauty constantly. So yeah, I really do. Inside something looks like this, but it's sick. It really is. Okay, so it just happens to be like um 2023. It just happens to be that, and basically almost Christmas. And basically, I do want to talk. Um, and first of all, that um, I do have 16-year-old, and it's a boy, and he he also likes YouTube, and he has ended up made it. He has made YouTube videos, and basically when he was younger and he really wanted to do so, and which was so cute, and I admired for him at the same time being cute and wanted to do such a things, but I really had like no idea how to protect him from it. Obviously online, basically some scams, frauds, and other types of bad things. And also what I didn't know what type of activities I'll give him online, and he could basically they establish it. And he was so young, but it's just like not really. I really did not know how to enhance like basically my life and stuff like that by like online and using YouTube or anything like that. But anyhow, I still have him. He's still alive. And he's 16. And yeah, I do desire him to get into a YouTube and post everything about his life. And I do desire that. I do like watching YouTube and thing like I mean, I do like it. I guess I do like it. And I spend all my time watching the YouTube. And basically, there's lots of things in there. But I mean, I really did just watch news that lots of wars news comes up there. Unfortunately, giving me nightmares. And I like music, and I do music, and play music and stuff like that. And I do. I did wanted to like improve my English, and so I come across by improving my English. Lots of I come across with like lots of videos and um people. I found people I think they're real, and basically I don't know, like watching Louis Huey and Joe Regan, and I will probably not give out all of them, but so it's just interesting basically how I wanted to learn English, improve and enhance my English and thinking and stuff that I found on the YouTube. So I do like watching it, or besides I needed to improve my English. And anyhow, as I like um talking, everybody tells me, for example, in my life, like since age 11, shut up, don't talk, do not talk. And it's like, I might be laughing, but I'm like at a lot of practice. I've had a lot of practice to laugh because I'm like, nobody has a right to tell me shut up. I'm like, these Americans are crazy. And I'm like, um, it just has brought out, brought out of me like violence. I'm like, somebody's gonna tell me shut up. I'm like, they're crazy. Of course, I do feel like in a mood talking, so of course I'll send in their talk at the same time. In that case, so it's hot in here. I'm wearing a jacket. I'm lazy opening the window. I'm like sitting here, and I'm like 5.6, feeling kind of massive to get up, reach the window. Basically that um drink my coffee. Okay, this is not a freaking good on coffee mug. It's like coffee mugs are too small. This is like I'm blender shake, for example. Supposed to be like bottle or something. And anyhow, all of this coffee I drank. I had too much coffee. Tastes like crap. And then I usually drank like pre-workout, and I didn't drink coffee. Then I've been quitting. I tried quitting the past 7 months. No more pre-workout. But yeah, that was a good pre-workout enhancements and good basically energy boosting, and some of the stuff that I have overcome with the pre-workout, working out at the same time, working my butt off, putting in so much energy. That was just hell and restless, basically. times I took it like straight every day, highest amount I could take it for like 3 years. So that was some experience. Then I decided to give myself some break and make sure that I don't get sick and stuff like that. So now I'm back drinking just plain old coffee, which is so yummy and not yummy at the same time. Just way I make it. Then, anyhow, that the nails they look cute. Um, that looks so cute, and I love the blue, and that's like purple, light purple. Love that. And basically, that okay, the scam. There's a lots of things you talk about it, and I'm like, I cannot get through it all of them today. I'm like, there's so much to talk about it. I woke up on Christmas Eve, just happened to be 2023, and very far at the same time passed, and I'm all okay. I am well, everybody in America breaks my privacy, so I'll just say it. 34, and March 1st is my birthday, and I'll be 35 then, and old. And it's not funny, but I am old, and most people, they just ended up acting like a 3-year-old and about, they wish they were that young, but they just don't really sit and they're acting emotionally mature in my opinion. But the regardless, you know, that age is very scary. That age is really scary. And then basically, so yeah, I woke up doing a video chat for somebody who basically second time scams me that I would be doing job on a representative agent roles at the same time for traveling, and I joined a chat online. Turns out to be scam. I mean, I should probably make a small story about this. My privacy. This person doesn't care. She is so freaking unethical. For example, with my phone number and my security confidentiality or whatever, scamming me as a hint that this is my second language and it's not any language. I don't speak your language. Okay, I don't speak most languages. I have obviously studied in English. Many different languages that influence basically around the world. I have come across them, but I don't really speak your language or anyone's language. I just speak English, and basically I just remember, like my language, my native language, and I was age 11 when I left from Georgia, but not the states, Republic of Georgia, and I was 11 when I come in the United States of America, and basically that I remember language up till that, but since I'm old right now, difficulty is that how do I speak that level of it, improvement experiences, and basically like growth and speak the language, and I actually have family members in Georgia, and I don't know. I don't understand them, but my sister basically, who I usually, for example, like to chat with, says, Vergavi eto, Vergavi. And I'm like, for example, learn English. And she's like, I'm like, I've been in this country for like 25 years. You knew I was in the United States of America. Study English. And she has same basically computer as me, and when I actually never thought that she'll have computer, because when I was on the Georgia, I was in the village, for example. Again, it doesn't matter, for example, world and where they are. And basically, instead, I was, this is about my living and my thinking about that. And that village, we had nothing, for example, of technology. And basically, language was so basic. It wasn't influenced by so many different businesses. And language was like, basically, just so basic, like very personal language. We didn't have businesses, any types of techniques and stuff. And basically, we have our neighbors and my family, and we just use it for personal reasons. And I'm like, I never thought she will leave from it. My village, Metejita, actually, um, if like people Google village Metejita, I don't even know how to spell it, but there are lots of Metejita, Bamiseski, or something like that. That's actually supposedly Tbilisi, but that's not exactly the village. And I basically know how to use Google Maps to get my village. Like I basically could get there, but and anybody, you don't even know how to spell it. You just sit in there tell, like, you go in the United States of America. For me, like Logan, for example, airport, at least I go in Tbilisi, at least at the same time, get a taxi, be Metejita, he'll ask like where about, and it's like past Caspi, the village after that, and then boom, I'll get there at the same time, and you don't even need to know how to get there based on pronouncing it or any other things. But so it's easy based on them, basically maps now, and just like improvements based on them. The America's more mobility, flexibility, and businesses, and you can just go there and the money. And basically, I'm from that, and when you Google it, you will find actually this like blue truck, and for example, and the blue truck, for example, it's like color of my nail about it might be a little bit darker, but it's like rusty, and basically, so it is really like some type of like very light blue or something, and it has a little bit of white in there or something, and basically kind of like aqua, sort of like aqua, or basically um can be sky blue. I feel like that's like sky blue, almost blue, and it's gotta be like let's see, it's gotta be, okay, whatever, but it's some type of blue, and it might be a little bit darker. It might be like um blue. It might be, either way, it was rusted. Okay, and basically it's like where I lived, if the truck, for example, somebody will look it up. It's like you go like from my house, a house, and then you keep going straight, another house, then a house that sits there. That's approximately three houses. And then yeah, and then that truck sits there on a, kind of looks like a little bit bump hill, and there and past there you cannot really see anything but maybe mountains or sky, and you cannot really see mountains either. But anyhow, just behind that you will go around that house, there'll be like some like land, and then grave, and then it'll be like water at the same time, and basically the water just like river, and so it's like kind of swampy things, like that type of that hills and the water. It will usually be like basically land that is basically breaks, for example, and water, I forgot what they call that, but just really wetlands, and that's how that area would be. And lots of land probably went in that water, way it looked like from me when I was a little girl, and and I was at the Metejita, and me and my sister obviously went all over, basically walking around there, for years, and yeah, so the cemetery was scary. I believe the rumors always went like people there were buried alive, and so it was like creepy and stuff like that. So yeah, this story is going all over, and making right in a Metejita. But anyhow, the scam and stuff, the interview that, for example, I joined online, I found on LinkedIn or something, this job interview, and basically online, for example, agent, and you just don't need any formal education for it, which is perfect because I don't have that. And basically, like nobody in America cares about it. But I went in a trade school, not speaking English, and my English was like, um, nobody cared what level of English I spoke. I mean, I came from Georgia, and for example, and then I had to learn English from ABC, like infant level. Then I'm studying like marketing, advertising, sales, and banking type of things and finances. In a trade school, but still like in a English basically there's lots of impairments and stuff like that where it's like I don't even know how to spell and I still don't, and it's like I've been practicing it however. So I've been putting, for example, my effort. Some of the ways that is obviously I went into school up till high school and then practice a lot at in a school, and then even after schools on my time by writing in a notebooks repeatedly by pen, and using a word as well, writing in there as well, and audio, doing audio types of stuff, basically to practice, doing online, for example, any types of basically vocabularies the online that listed for ESL, practicing them spelling and doing audio things there and YouTube and any types of basically vocabulary websites for English. And I have been studying, reading like ESL types of, for example, like oh yeah, I don't want to speak repeatedly some informal things, or some informal things, or like conjunctives or something like that, a lot. But basically, I've been studying English daily, and if I have a severe accent, that's exactly my point. Like somebody moving from another country, obviously it's going to be hell for them to drop their accent and then basically study English. And so basically, I've been studying it. Anyhow, nobody cares about it. This like retail market and especially high school degree. Nobody cares about it in this country. I mean, most of the jobs, for example, that is usually offered in here is a cashier jobs, and basically, and then you got when you got cashier jobs, I'll probably speak about it basically about that different time. Even though and issues with that, even though I don't want you because I'm not sure if I can basically the field take it up any reasons why I'm gonna take it. For example, that would be convenient, but maybe I'll just mention briefly that my experience in a cashier jobs is that basically which other people might experience like different, they might be bad and they might have basically themselves bad behaviors, and they might ended up basically not really be the one who's basically experiencing the things that I have experienced it. It's fairly easy job, obviously it does require English, but I'll still say it's easy job. And comparing to where there are dangerous jobs, I'm comparing to like doctor jobs and nursing, basically, and military jobs, and so cashier job. I'm comparing to where like dangerous drugs like minors or stuff, anything risky, fire, basically workers, and so it's like really easy job. And but the customers, like everybody says that they suck, and Americans do really speak about it. Basically, culture, community issues, including they speak about it lots about it, sexual harassments, and they speak about it basically at the jobs. Lots of sexual harassment. There are like basically more than statistically supposedly more than 40% of this in real life. I think, for example, I were going to say it, it's like way increased problem, and basically in harassments and sexual harassments and any forms of abuse and intrusive types of behaviors. And basically, and there are obviously mostly females complain, for example, about that sexual harassment at the jobs, and basically um that's just unfortunately how it is. Mostly females, I guess nobody cares about the males, even though um their mothers and family members must care about it, their wives, spouses, children. But I'm just joking. Somebody must care about it. Basically about the males and their harassment experiences. Somebody must care. And so basically, there's just like, employment and including just in general lots of basic sexual harassments and issues. Anyhow, these are the stuff that I deal with it, and then people accusing of me. I don't know how to use it, the cashier, and I don't know how to do the math. Even though I'm like, I am not your math, for example, learn. I am not your math instrument. I'm doing fine, like basically using a computer and obeying instructions how I was trained and stop complaining. Bottom of the line. But based on people saying that their complaints are very serious, like some people have made very fake complaints. Some I don't know, they didn't tell me, and just for like not upsetting me, and I don't want to know. Thank God, just permanent PTSD. Try to permanent PTSD on me, but and so they can make up anything and accuse of people. But one silly person claims that I basically ended up like she dropped stuff and on the floor and I didn't help her. That was so mean and monster that I didn't help her to pick up that. And I think I remember exactly. And she was with her husband and basically and she claims she had massive disabilities and stuff, and this was absolutely, for example, intentionally, for example, at the same time not helping her, and it was just bizarre behaviors. And I did ask her, and you can see probably on a camera how I go basically from my cashier to around her and try to basically be like, let me help you pick up. Sometimes I've done that, and basically, and one of them basically says, no, that's okay, blah blah blah, I don't have to pick up the stuff for her. And basically I'm like, no, it's not a problem. I'll go around, pick the stuff for her. But she still went basically behind my back and basically lied that I did not do this. So even though I was not required to leave from my cashier helper at the same time, and she basically I'm just a cashier. I just scan things. That's it. And basically, but I would definitely do a lot of things just for because just like we're capable of doing many things. So story of do capable of doing many things that we do basically get involved in it. Like at the same time, these activities like somebody dropping something. We say a lot of things in the cashier. We greet people and, we meet a lot of people. I mean, like, it's just like we do basically lots of things as a cashier. So it's like not like basically, usually it's not like it doesn't, it doesn't really, it's not like we don't do things. It's not like we are basically doing nothing. But regardless, anyhow, the job like cashiers, there's a bunch of shaming and people like basically make fun of me that I'm doing, for example, cashier jobs, and people try to take too much of my time talking. It's not the anybody that I have talked to with who I'm talking about it. There are different people. And there are, some people who I talk because wantonly, but there are just people who use job at the same time to basically abuse me, harass me. And so, for example, basically also to stalk me, and like where it's like they'll use the job like as if at the job at the same time my job is to give them attention. And basically when it's not, my job is nothing, for example, related about to them. It's really just set it in there, for example, at the same time related to the job. Like we do not set it in there, pick up their name before they come, for example, at the store and be like, hey, to this person you have to do this. No, we just get trained on a cashier at the same time in my acts. For example, say hi, for example, at the same time if you wanted to. And so basically, and for example, at the same time, it's just this how you don't know them, but at the same time, And it's not like you have to if you want to, bottom of the lie. But for example, but like most definitely though, you have to make sure that you do not sexually harass them backwards. But that's definitely never basically mentioned to me directly by somebody. Don't sexually harass them, because for example, why would I sexually harass them? I mean, that's perhaps really crazy. But for example, either way, obviously we are not allowed to do that. So basically, there are like weird people who basically show up and, like at the job, they did not set it understated they would be that weird. They just set understated like there are people, for example, who are basically and unstable and, for example, and get the manager or something. That was still not enough to get me ready for it at the same time, even though I sort of then mentioned to them that people do these type of the stuff at the same time. Like briefly, they do set it in there and ask my name constantly, how you saying it, where I'm from, even though at the same time I am sorry, but for example, I really don't want to tell them that. And for example, at the same time, like because I'll cover a personal contact to them, but basically because of if somebody makes me feel uncomfortable and they're making like chemistry and vibes, like if they're giving me that, especially, I'm like, I'm sorry, but I just don't really feel like I want to sit and speak to them, but sure, like where I'm from at the same time. Well, I did publish a book and I have lots of books unpublished, and basically I do mention a description somewhere in there where I'm from, and I'm like, when somebody buys the book, they can go find out where I'm from and memorize it basically in their head that where I'm from, and basically no like harm is intended or anything like that. It's like honestly by emotions, it's hard dealing with it. For example, at the same time when you facing it, at the same time like abuse, it's like really difficult to basically emotionally to deal with it. But overall, like okay, there's like nothing from my side. I'm trying to send like harm or damage to somebody, and basically, but yeah, it's just different with personal experience when you're facing abuse and stuff. And so yeah, that's a cashier job. I'll basically make that. I'll just make that sure, and basically, and while I did graduate high school, and that was made to believe like I'm going to be famous or something and get a job that's a high paying job and stuff like that, took a lot of my time obviously, and basically, and I ended up working super hard at the same time and crazy. I didn't sleep many times studying English and doing, for example, assignments that I didn't even know how to do, and it was like a lot more difficult than Americans basically, and people in America who basically speak basically English because, for example, either because they're qualified basically their language abilities, or either they were not cognitively basically like were able to do as well and some damages or something. But besides that, still, like it was like really hard for me for moving from another country to United States of America, and then basically have basically American language to complete, for example, their work. And basically anyhow, it was like a trade school, and most people actually who graduated from it, basically from a school that I attended actually in a school at Minuteman Regional High School. Let me restate that again. Minuteman Regional High School. Okay, it's a nice high school, but basically it's in Black City in Massachusetts. Sure, I stayed there. Basically, not sure how to edit the, for example, videos at all. Okay, how do I edit it and take it out? But anyhow, the school is in a nice town, and things around are really nice. Most people believe it's like out of the movie. Like I guess a lot of people are really thinking that town is super nice, and it's like as if being in the movies. And it's like I don't know, like I'm from a different country, so I really don't know. I guess I didn't see any people anywhere. And basically, but school was like, it's a nice school, but a lot of people who graduate from there, they actually have somewhat succeeded at the same time. They got their jobs in their field, or they go college, they change. Oh, oh my God, my coffee spilled. Ah, no, no, no. Oh my God. Oh my God. Um, that's what happened, I guess, with energy here. Um, no. I'm gonna. It sucks. Um, okay. Sucks. Okay, coffee spills, and obviously makes bunch of mess, and it happens, I guess. It happens. Okay, so basically, and change basically what they have studied, and so they have done all of that, and people who went in the shops, they have gotten a job and stuff like that, and at least that level, um, and basically it's weird because I did it and I applied to a jobs and they denied basically the job for me for it. So there was like all types of, first of all, it was retail management and banking and finances and all whatever. But then it's like Indeed, for example, LinkedIn, or basically monsterjob.com, or any of these places now that people apply jobs. It's like you can apply for daycare, you can apply for a warehouse, you can apply for cashier, and daycare babysitter, and some things like that with high school diploma. Now I don't want to, I think it's way more broad. And for example, jobs and businesses, I think there are basically so much businesses that will not require any formal degree at the same time. And there are lots of businesses that will not require a college degree. And that's just like listing it for, but for example, just the daycare and stuff like that. Like, what? There's not like four daycares in the country or something. But anyhow, I think there's a bunch. But obviously, just speaking in like basically, if I'm insufficient, that's because I'm not everybody and USA. And then I'm basically covering with it limited information. I wish I could cover obviously like basically unlimited information, but that's what computer is for. So I'm just covering for basically like I want to talk and my feelings, and I want to talk chat, and I'm covering basically just like what I talk. And basically, and so I find it unfair. I find it unfair basically that you can only imagine people in the United States of America have heard about it. This like job, for example, discrimination, basically laws, and they have heard about that. And you can only imagine it that if somebody basically cannot get a job, you can only imagine it at the same time that like what type of basically like that discriminatory or something, how severe basically that is. Right, I have filed discriminatory even though really late, and basically maybe 2021 or 20, that was really late. She filed basically, and they basically said in their stated it's all suspicious what I file at the same time. And I'm like, is it suspicious what I file at the same time, or is it more suspicious that I've been in the country 25 years without job? Which one is more suspicious? Additionally, okay, so basically I don't know, that sucks. And basically, so that didn't really work out, for example, for me um yeah, I don't know, like I mean, like I said, now the other stuff I said in there file is the fire that I got, but there's like not we're talking about it. Basically, that though, like for example, okay, I cannot. As much as I have a problem how I'm gonna talk about it, 25 years no job at the same time, then as much as I've had, for example, something at the same time, that is definitely will not replace it. For example, at the same time, 25 years of no job, like I really cannot set it in there. Basically use like any job experiences, basically like replacing of basically at the same time. Basically jobless and for example no job and basically issues with for example at the same time damages for example at the same time and jobs and stuff like that. And so I cannot do that really. I cannot combine basically that like as replacing of it basically those issues. So basically bottom of the line is so they don't hire me and Americans look at it at the same time like, oh, there's discriminatory laws and that protects us discriminatory laws at the same time. And for example, no way, like somebody who doesn't work at the same time, you gotta be like drug addict and you have to be like individual who do commit sexual harassments and you gotta be individual at the same time who's stealing and you have to be like basically mentally unstable person and have severe basically personality problems and stuff like that. And of course I didn't speak English to basically be like anybody had a right to put me for example at the same time and in a category of it like first of all they're pre-thinking and basically and then their delusions and put me in a category of it any categories with somebody being unstable and then basically in delusional psychotic illusions and any topics in there and crazy topics and put me in there about me information about me and come up with it as they please to come up about me. I didn't speak English like that, but now it's obvious at the same time people do things like that. People put basically people into any types of category basically with their illusion and rationalities and they do put people information like they use it basically pre-thinking or something. That's not like they know me or they know anybody and they are basically at the end of the day they are constantly doing things that are basically like two things mentally doing things that are not part of the reality and making up for example stuff or lying and then using it practicing things that are basically not real and then for example assaulting or things like that. At the end of the day those are the things they do a lot anyhow. And basically this computer is so hot overheated and distracted at the same time coffee spill over there and yeah it's so distracted and basically and I hope I don't get set on a fire based on this computer is hot and basically so stuff like that basically. And I do have one kid which I mentioned he is 16 and basically that his it's been why would somebody have only one kid, okay? And these are a lot of things people usually created. People have, for example, one kid because, for example, they live poor. At the same time, they have a disease, diabetes, or cancer at the same time. And they're basically eating on food stamps or not even that. Some countries, they live in the streets or something. And, you know, they are basically they are single mothers that exist and they can take care of the kids. They got sexually assaulted and basically they have inhuman treatments. For example, they have human rights problems, you name it, okay? Well, again, almost, except none of that usually states you remove it, that they have kids. Usually, people might have basically human rights problems and maybe they got raped and assaulted, and for example, and maybe they are poor and maybe they dealing with a lots of crisis and stuff like that. And their conditions are just not basically normal, but usually they have kids still. And so basically, that's another topic. Why would I only have one kid? So that falls into a bunch of basically takeaways, for example, and damages basically in my life since I have come to the United States and been living in the United States. Giving a birth and having children has been basically damaged as well among lots of other stuff. And, in the United States of America, I mean, it is like lots of people. There are millions of people in this country. And, obviously somebody is giving childbirth, somebody's having completion and pregnancies. And somebody is and basically giving a birth. I this thing, I'm not even sure if it's working. Yeah, it might have not been working. And basically, I'm not even guaranteed if this is working. Um, Basically, microphone. Let's go. It's like, I don't think it's working. I'm pretending it's working. I heard it really loud, almost went deaf, but it sure is not like the whole through time I've been talking. So I don't think it's working. Weird. Okay. I guess. Like whole through times, it's not really loud, and I just heard a really loud sound, which means that that's cut off some reason. So I don't think this microphone. I don't. Uh, I have no idea. So basically, obviously, that I want and not guaranteed, but it's supposed to be like loud. So that was rare. I heard that really loud noise. I almost went deaf. That was crazy. But that's it. So go figure. Go figure why that happened. I don't know. And basically, now I forgot the information. Now I'm like forgetting it. There's a lot of information. I'm like, how am I gonna go through this information? How am I gonna go through it? At the same time, I'm probably gonna have to spend all my life talking about it, honestly. And so basically, um, okay, yeah, somebody is having kids in this country. Somebody is somebody is having pregnancy problems in this country, and not me. Okay, this country is massive at the same time, so somebody is definitely achieving these pregnancies. So yeah, bottom of the line, they have damaged that, for example, on me. And so basically, okay, so yeah, like I gonna around suffer. And then basically, I have my kid with my adopted father. What happened is the 1 year 2017 or something, he went over there. He was like living with me. Basically, we will completely drop now cashier topic. We will drop about it sort of unless I come back, and we will drop about it the scam, for example. There's some types of and that online job thing, and we will drop about that one, and unless I come back. And so just now we'll be talking about it. other stuff unless I come back and keep coming back these topics. But so basically there's so much to talk about it. And how do I talk about it? Basically like all of them. I don't think I got time for talking about it, all of them. Crap, it's 12:53. Terry is not sitting there spending the time with its family. 12:53. And basically that exactly, oh my god, I just said it. Yes, it's Terry. Okay, that is my name. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I should say in it. But then I'm like, oh, my name and my name has been and hacked in this country, and my identity, like personally, and so my name is being hacked fakely. Like, meaning you're thinking about me, like while you masturbate about me or something behind my back, go ahead. But like that's not same thing as basically stuff that I experience and I go through it at the same time. So for example, whatever, that's the name, Eteri, and that is a Georgian name, and it's Eteri. And actually, I do have a book out there, and people complain in it. Like it's misspelled. Few things are misspelled. It's actually like the way you find my book. I'm not sure if I should say in it because I didn't. I'm not like very professional at videotaping it stuff, and I'm not sure if I should mention that about my books yet. I'm not good at making commercials or something like that and advertising my book. Regardless, I also will have a book coming out as well, not the one soon. I was actually like past 3 days I was actually working on like spelling. It's actually delayed publishing, like my book publisher speaking, because it went from 13,000 words to like 69, 65 words. Went from 71 originally approximately, and then decreased by editing. But by doing the changes, that book is actually delayed, and they're editing, correcting the book and revising, proofreading, and these were things that they're working on, and I was a couple days working on proofreading and stuff like that as well. So I would have that come out, but overall, now the book is stuck with spell editing with one of my book publishers. But it's like there's a lot of books that I got and my books are not published, and I have legitimately what do you call it, like book publishers, for example, online. I have looked, for example, these book publishers, and basically like online book publishers, like I wanted to contact basically supposedly book publishers, that top book publishers that exist. um like I've contacted Macmillan or something, um and Harp and Collin or something, Random House or something, and just like some basically many other um I don't know hatchet books, scholastic books, but many of these were some of the book publishers I wanted to contact, and I guess, but they don't accept books without agent. But then it went from I couldn't send in their message any of these book publishers because without agent. And basically I have basically then search, for example, this is like a perfect story at the same time that's unknown, but basically agents and everything comes on it basically on a Google, right? Thousands and thousands, and we have 300 here, we have 29 here, we have 1,000 here, and blah blah blah, and so many book publishers and marketplace. I went the agent query, I go there and send like hundreds of people basically. Bottom of the line, my memoir at the same time, which is so long but written long time ago in 2015, still not published after all of this, and basically has not been extended and added. It's been a long time ago since the book has been written. And I have some other books as well. I also like children's book and basically that songs, rhymes, and basically stories like fairy tale like stories. And I also have educational basically things. I all of them are educational, but it's like ABCs, and I mean. I could not sit in there to just be creative talking about it, stuff I had written, but like some math and stuff like that. I even did music, but written about them music stories and included how to play guitar and piano, which I don't play it at the same time. But for example, I did sit in there and basically created a literature, and I did create a book and how to them to learn basically play guitar and piano even. And so I really like it, writing about children educational at the same time stuff like that. I think it would be perfect for education and for example and including games and basically that I created in a book for children. And basically I got a good feedbacks, like at least 7 6 people who did respond, and basically that they liked that book. But while I that book comes out about 200 page and very short, because that was also about 2021 I written it, and basically and since then I haven't written it, so I actually wanted to write a lot more, but it never happened because that's not published. I ended up then basically publishing on Amazon and basically ebook by splitting the book into different titles. And that's because book is long, and I'm like, I'll make different books out of it. It doesn't have advertising there. Amazon, for example, publishing, and it doesn't have spelling check. Nobody viewed at the same time. Basically, Amazon, for example, ebooks, for example, I put it out basically within publishing. Nobody has ever viewed it at the same time, and there was no way of it obviously selling the book. And but it had a problem with it, this business covering a spelling check, and so I took it down. So now the book is like unfinished and completely, but there's preventing of it obviously with the damages and the time, and basically that to, for example, continue writing educational books, continue writing and publishing ebooks or with publishers or traditional publishers, market the book, make the money at the same time writing about it in their music, or basically at the same time, or math or English or songs or any academic, and write these books and creating these books that are damaged in a material. There's a bunch of damage about this, and the fact that that book that is not published. And so basically that also sucks. But even if I have it some book, like again really in a status, one is working on a spelling editing, other one is stuck on a spell editing. It costs me per page for spell editing basically about 850, for example, for my book lane for spell editing, one of them, and basically went through it a couple times and still basically stuck on spell editing. One is out, and basically I heard about it, has a spell editing issue in there. It has one word inaccuracy, should not be there at the same time. And basically, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of grammar issues in there, but for example, I know some things were not uppercase like it should have been. And when I read it, and then few words were really misspelled. I mean, lots of them are basically spelled accurately, but I mean, I never have basically seen a book that is basically that is like misspelled and has a grammar issues. I have like never seen basically in my life any book having grammatical issues and any spelling issues. And I'm like basically because I have English problems and come from a different country and have so much basically things about this English to really sit it in there and basically mention about it, how it's not my first language. I mean, it is a little bit disappointment that having a book out that it's not spelled accurately, it's embarrassing. But it is not my book publisher's problem. this is a self book, publish it. So for example, it is something I had to be really careful about it. But for example, I really did not know how basically to be. It was like my first time doing it, and basically that's all I can say, that I hate it. To second times at the same time, same problem to receive it, because how many times am I gonna use that excuse? But again, it's a self-publishing. So for example, something I really needed to be careful with this. So that sucks. But yeah, I do like writing, or I'm just sitting there following it, basically American writing, for example, development and options and stuff like that. But I always in my country like basically language and people's experiences, and when I came in America, it did really kill my interest at the same time and my thoughts, and basically moving in America. And I never thought that I would ever like it at the same time, language, or ever word like writing as well, or talking or anything. But basically, more English practice, it brought it back my interest and opened it up, or interest, or it brought it back like a massive techniques. I use massive techniques for writing, basically anything that I have written. And for example, we call them novels, I suppose, and books. And so basically, while I have bunches unpublished, I was still saying that they were written by 2020 or 2021 at the same time, and basically within months. And for example, all the books that I got, and I worked on the day and the night, not sleeping. But since then, the books then I proceed publishing it. And basically there's just lots of damage, obviously, and a product and damage, for example, and my time, and basically financially and everything. And so for example, that is a damage, for example, as well. For example, I'm not sure if it's my life expectancy damage. I'm not sure if this is basically will be practiced in a field of it, basically publishing of books, or if you will be only used for it, basically assaults. But like basically I cannot publish books basically when I'm dead, for example, at the same time. And for example, I cannot use it 2015 for 2016. I cannot use any of that. Today is 2023, almost 2024, and I really cannot go from 2024, 2023, 2022 and begin using the time backwards. These books basically need to be written at the same time accordingly, and basically in a time in my age. Example, at the same time, if my country, I live there and I'm publishing a book in there, I had a right age infant, like my parents helping me to publish a book, like basically my first word, or handprints, or like my first picture, and use my name for it at the same time in such a creative way. And basically, and later I could set it in there, and as I develop and 1 or 2 years old, I can have books about it, my name, and for example, and my activities and blah blah blah. But in this country, this began basically that I've written a book 2015, and for example, and since then at the same time I'm not able to, for example, do good job publishing of books at the same time and achieving completion it at the same time. These when I should be able to publish books, and I should be able to basically publish anything and achieve it, any writing and anything that has to relate it to it, basically publishing it. And basically it's a America, businesses exist, publish it. So for example, since businesses exist and America publish it, I should be able to publish what I want. Okay. And basically, it's a financial damage. It's a damage basically a lot in my life at the same time, because for example, everywhere I look around, there is for example, lots of books, and for example, but that somebody else go and did that, and somebody else is making money about that at the same time. And for example, hooray, for example, for them at the same time. But while it's hooray for them, for example, are they giving me a credit? What credit do I got? So it's said because it does take away, for example, at the same time my credit, and it does set it in there, and basically just basically my nature, it crushes it and stuff like that. I am basically, since we have basically defined it that as an infant, your family probably can make money at the same time using it, basically your name and basically and their names and basically milestones to publish books about it, their experiences. I'm more than old enough at the same time to publish my own books at the same time and make money. And but that's another thing. The publishers are not basically coming forth, and I cannot find it basically traditional publishing at the same time. And basically, are they real? I mean, for example, where are they? I don't know. Where are they? Are they sure they're real? Because obviously, like, I wanted to publish, for example, my memoir biography at the same time. And basically, that was, for example, years and years after I've been in the United States. I have written in 2015. And then, for example, at the same time, there's years passed by at the same time. And I have not basically extended that book at the same time. Or I should have multiple books about it, my memoir and basically biography, my experiences and anything in the self thanks category. I should have lots of books published in that category. And basically, my 16-year-old is not old enough to get involved with this publishing book stuff. It's too hard for him. And basically, that I regret even telling him that I will be publishing a book, which I did, because, for example, I just prefer first publishing and present him with the money, not basically disappoint him. So that's another stuff. Because his father is not involved in his life at the same time, he's basically by himself. And again, where did I lost myself? For example, I feel like I moved, for example, obviously. And another, for example, topic, but yeah, he is living with my adopted father, and basically, and a lot of drama with his father, and again, he has been nothing but huge, basically. Just defamation of, for example, my character, for example, and a lot of other stuff, and basically a lot of issues, bottom of the line, the kid that I got, and basically related to well, it's not really related to him. He makes it look like related to him at the same time, but I guess very easily, like, well, if he didn't have a kid with me and stuff like that, then me and him wouldn't have anything to do with each other, and then other people too at the same time. And we wouldn't even have anything to do with each other if basically my son did not existed and stuff like that. But anyhow, because of a lot of things in there, I have said it in there. And actually, just this year at the same time, in the summer I freaked out at the same time, lots of stuff, for example, about it. And basically, and YouTube, I mean, Facebook, I made a Facebook video, and basically in the Facebook video, I made a video after video because I was like really going through it at the same time. I was at the hospital and I was having a hospital malpractice issue, and basically, and mentally, basically, and physically, I was like in massive chaos. They gave me like some types of liver or whatever the part of my basically organs. It's probably multiple problems, for example, based on it, for example, malpractice and negligence, and basically, going in there basically because of it, some like pre-workout, and for example, too much taken or taken with Tylenol or something, I don't know, and basically it triggered like endless vomiting, then it triggered endless urinations, and basically was really uncomfortable, but really uncomfortable becomes basically massive malpractice, and for example, worsen bodily issues. And then because I was going really crazy about basically physically, I ended up making this summer like videos on that freaking Facebook, and basically to talk, because I was like suffering and stuff like that, and nobody cared, and I hate Facebook, for example, if nobody cares. And I deleted my Facebook as well, and it was like humiliating to basically talk about it, basically malpractice, and talk about it, everything. And I mentioned some about it, my child's daddy. And for example, briefly, like really briefly, like I legitimately stated it, that basically my son definitely not living with him, and he is with my adopted father at the same time. And if he wants to basically be living with him, he cannot change the time. Like my son is like 16 years old at the same time, and he needs to basically reverse the time and perhaps basically get the custody of him, and he's welcome to go do that. Same time, has nothing to do with me. My son is not living with me. He is basically with my adopted father, and transition was made after his father basically neglected him. And for example, at the same time, and we were living in land, Massachusetts, and basically, and we were going through lots of stuff, for example. And basically I just basically thought that him moving with my adopted father would be basically convenient, for example. So basically he moved in there. So I'm like, if his father wants basically like something to do with him, he would have to go change the time and basically go on a court to get custody of him. But anyhow, regardless, there's just so much defamations and basically things related to this, and it's so humiliating. Everyone in my Facebook at the same time, and every time I make a Facebook, it constantly ruins like my identity and everything. It's so humiliating, and it was difficult dealing with it at the same time, that much humiliation. And I ended up dealing in my Facebook, and I constantly deleted my Facebooks. And so that sucks. I guess it's just like really toxic reactions and stuff like that. And so yeah, I guess I talk to camera because, for example, I really don't have anybody to talk to, and my son, I didn't want to bother him, and he's too young. So I talk to the camera, like basically, just like talk everything. Not everything, like I obviously there's no way I could do everything. I think of like myself like that, basically unlimited. I think of like I dream, basically no, like time will end, like most people, like they say they don't really think about it, they'll be dead. I'm sure, yeah, one day I'll die, but it is really hard thinking. At the same time, I want to, like most people obviously feel, and also I will die and everything will end how I feel. And that's obviously like basically difficult. I would die. Okay. And so yeah, I also have like COVID-19. I feel like every like freaking 10 days or something, that's like lives here or something. Germs everywhere. And basically I heard like last night I couldn't even sleep all day at the same time, and a neighbor coughing, like severe problems. But yeah, lots of sick, for example, neighbors or something. And this COVID-19 basically everywhere, this disease, and I've been obviously every 10 days infected by it. So that's also gross and really unrealistic. For example, experiences, I've dealt with it, basically symptoms like small like chills and without fevers and sweats and aching and vomiting, and basically the stuffy nose and things like that. I've dealt with it. Just what else I have dealt with it. I have to use the restroom regardless. Okay. And so before I like explode my bladder, and I'm like, no, I need to stop this. I need to use the restroom. Okay. So how do I move conveniently? And no idea. I mean, people edit their videos, what they edit at the same time. Do they take different videos, combine it together, and then it's like, fuck, I'm gonna walk away. I'm not sure how to sit in there and do that. So this video would be like really at us, like I'll come back, I'll be back. like back, and I'm like, I have no idea how to edit the video and make it look like it laughed anywhere. Like no idea. So that sucks. But like people can do like I do with this oh my I do this often. Um you can basically skip it like and fast forward it basically what do you want it I do that constantly and so basically it's only fair basically to um do that basically because I watch YouTube and TV and it has basically taken years of my life to watch people on a YouTube and so basically um you know um so yeah if I do that then basically anybody can do it too if I do it. uh, Anyhow it's like obviously um so basically that coffee that I spell is so bizarre coffee in my bed and yeah that's like my office and everything and it's a king size bed so I have like papers box food coffee and that's what I got spill everywhere on my sheets okay so it's something that I'm having obsessions with it and I think it wants to come compulsively and really crushing it at the same time everything so I have to ignore basically that coffee spilling everywhere and I forgot what I was talking about it there's so many things you talk about it and basically and there's just a lot of things to talk about it and basically this is like really not most top quality video and basically so I'm like wow I'm gonna have to basically videotape this and talk but it's not exactly top quality video kind of you know everybody would want a top quality video obviously I would want that one instead. Oh, hair is definitely itching me. Oh my god, it's definitely itching me. And so basically, um, but it is what it is. So still feel like talking, and basically speaking. I will call it talking, speaking. Um, like um more like I most people call it my life. I don't want to call it my life at the same time because it's not enough and it doesn't complete that. At the same time, I think a lot of things is missing. I think a lot of things in the past missing too. And so basically it's like almost like I can go for example back maybe for example maybe it should be called like that but why we will be like not really basically qualified looking that far and we basically can't even get that done and maybe that's what I should call this on top of that and basically I hate the makeup itching hair itching sucks and for example I really need to this is really weird but it's just trying to take foundation out of my nose so basically that is um okay yeah I forgot it but I do when I come from Georgia I do have sisters. I have sister in Georgia. I have three brothers in Georgia, two supposedly another mother, and okay, two of my brothers supposedly is by another mother, but then six of us are by same woman. But there's only two of them left in Georgia, sister and brother, and then rest of them are in America. And um they actually like making videos too. They actually have it on their Facebook. Basically some videos. And they talk about it. Basically the issues that in the Georgia when they got adopted, and they talk about it, basically some issues, for example, in the Georgia, and they have just like they connect with the people or something. And I always wanted to connect with people as well, for example, stuff that I go through well in America, because I was living when I come in the United States of America, so I really didn't assume that I would be connecting people with it, what I went through my country. But and I'm in America, I wanted that in America. I wanted connection with people as well. And so basically, I don't know. Their videos are more basically higher style than mine. I suppose I'm jealous. But yeah, they also videotape is showing off like their house or something, and in here it's a massive space. But I mean, in a massive space, I mean, I've thought about this a lot because I'm by myself. I mean, for example, sort of one way I think it's massive, but other way ceilings are too short, closets are spaces not enough. Other way it's a one bedroom apartment, but other way around, it's approximately 600 square footage, one bathroom, small kitchen, small bathroom. It looks big sometimes. I don't know, but it's really badly. It's a really badly designed, and it's filthy. But and there's lots of freaking going around the fill and problems that exist in here, and so basically, I'll also ended up um come to stop to the topic, not because basically I shouldn't talk about it, but God doesn't take all the time, and basically it's annoying. Okay, but yeah, I feel like they are basically connecting with people, and I always wanted to do that, but I don't see why it has to do with Georgia. And when I come this country age 11, I think it's about like basically America, not Georgia, because I come United States at age 11, and so I just don't see how that would be appropriate for me to basically seek people to talk about it, what I went in Georgia when, given the fact that I've been in the United States of America and since basically age 11. And basically, what the hell does Georgia has anything to do with, for example, United States of America at the same time, and people who live United States of America at the same time, for example, and basically since their age 11, never mind age 11, even before age 11, Americans were not, for example, in my country. And so what the hell does America have to do with in my country? I call them my country because basically you just cannot change somebody who they are, and that's how I like it at the same time, to call it my country, bottom of the line. And I'm like, if I was in Georgia and somebody's been an asshole to me, at the same time, I'll be like, I'm Georgian. And they're like, no, I am. And, they're trying to confront me and be mean. I'm like, want to punch them in their face. And I'm like, I'm Georgian. And I want to basically be Georgian. But anyhow, regardless, yeah, I don't see what Americans and anybody in this country is like. Basically, their awareness completely in my country and anything. But anyhow, my biological sisters do connect with it supposedly. I'm not sure exactly what my biological sisters do, honestly. And but for example, and I'm not aware of it exactly what they do. Okay, it's just that everybody can see that they are basically looking for it, and speaking with some strangers about it, some basically businesses, and basically stuff about they're mentioning about Georgia at the same time, and basically my sisters said in videos that they were basically not be alive if they didn't get adopted, and they mentioned that type of remarks on their public videos that they're basically doing it, and basically that if they didn't get adopted, they will never be alive. I will not speak for them, basically, and what they want to be talking about it, obviously, about themselves, because not my responsibility. I don't keep in contact with them, so I will not send them to speak with them. But yeah, there is three biological sisters in the United States of America, and there's two. They were basically living in a Baltimore, but they're in United States of America. That's all I know it, and that's all what I will send in there. Refer to it, and any communication and any preference or reasons. And then one was in a Canada, in a Montreal area, but in a Vancouver area or something like that. But like Canada, bottom of the line. Regardless, I don't keep in contact with her as well. And basically, yeah, I shall not sit in there to speak about it to them. I don't keep in contact to them, and I don't talk to them at all. And basically, me and my son met them, for example, one time, and basically, me and my son, for example, never said that I have anything to do with them at the same time. And my son does not desire to at the same time, and he doesn't have any interest at the same time, and he doesn't want, for example, toxic people in his life at all at the same time, and deal with it, basically, the situations with that. And basically, my sister, basically in Georgia, I sympathize her. Basically, I feel bad for her. Of course, that I haven't seen her since I moved from Georgia, and it's difficult, basically. But I just wanted to sympathize her, and at the same time, I will always obviously love her. And even though it's very difficult, and she is as well in another country, my brothers, two of them with my father, basically children with another woman, live with my father. Actually, my father lives with them because it's their place. But regardless, they're all connected, and there seems to be really awesome. And but yeah, I haven't lived with them and stuff like that, but I am definitely be like, I hope they're as cool as, for example, how obsessed I am with them. And I have chatted with them a few times on a Facebook, and I do my Facebook a lot. I'm not sure if they want to basically continue speaking with me, because I do think that I really don't know. I really have no idea what they think. I basically delete my Facebook a lot, but I do know it that when I can go to a Georgia, basically I'll end up hitting them up, for example, and stuff like that. And but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Basically, it's hard, basically, because I wish I did sit in there and lived with them, and I do wish that they were basically my family, and I wish at the same time that they were, and we had a bond. But for example, they live in a different country, and it's like difficult, basically, many reasons, and I don't know those people. I just obsessed with them. I don't know them by heart. I just have a chemistry connections, obsessions towards them with being my brothers. I want them to be my brothers, people basically on my side, and I want them to basically like just like make who I am at the same time. And if they're Terry's brothers at the same time, for example, have the name, for example, at the same time that they're supporting, and that's what I want. But it is very difficult living in a different country, and difficult getting my dream come true. Anyhow, it's so hard. But basically, so that's like some people I spoke with it basically on basically like I have spoken with them on a Facebook and it's fun, but haven't really accomplished, for example, a lot. And basically, but yeah, um, so I have a biological mother and a Georgia, biological brothers, three of them, and one sister there, and I think, and then she has three kids, and I think, and I have one cousin. So I think, for example, all other family members, I lack basically knowledge, and I basically don't know. But yeah, there must be other people, but I just don't know. And basically, um, so yeah, and it's like the biological sisters in the United States of America. They were adopted in like 1996, and of course, I should not talk about their history, but they are they are publicly again put it out videos. Everybody can see it and talking about it. Basically, Georgia, something like that, and they want to connect American individuals to talk about it, some of their problems, basically, in Georgia. And for example, my dream about it, connecting, for example, anybody and basically people, for example, talking about American problems and issues in America, talk about, for example, and America, like, for example, not my country, America, but I don't know why somebody wants to talk about in my country. I have no idea. Especially fuck that. At the same time, what about America? Especially that. But anyhow, okay, there's not anything, for example, I can speak, for example, about for somebody and basically and their identities. Okay, so basically in America, as I've been in the United States of America, um basically, let's see, I've talked about it, obviously, job, for example, more than discriminations. I've talked about it, pregnancies, where it's like America is obviously achieving it and not me. I've talked about it, like scams, online jobs at the same time, and basically, which was so ridiculous, like on Amazon, I was like constantly denied applications because supposedly I don't have it, for example, experience. And it's like, but you are like have to train, for example, people working with you anyways. And for example, years and years, you didn't drop any money paying me, for example, at the same time in my health insurance and basically and all of the benefits. What is your loss? What's your problem? I don't have experience, for example. At the same time, you hire people at the same time that who are corrupt, and at least, for example, some degrees, like they're not fair and stuff like that. And then you want to be basically constantly denying my shots, for example, working, for example, with you because, for example, constant excuse that I don't have experience. But like I said, well, regardless, you haven't been paying me past 25 years, like my, for example, benefits or anything. You have not spent any dime on me at the same time. So what's your loss about it at the same time at all? It's not money. So for example, at the same time, what is your basically a thing about it? Oh, well, you don't have experiences working with us, okay? Any business about this at the same time. They don't have any other qualifications for a job for somebody applies to you at the same time, but have basically at the same time GD or not even, but you're basically at the same time denying, rejecting them for a job at the same time because, for example, this experience, like as if it's your business, as if you're basically lost the money on it or something. And then also, like, it's not like people you're hiring it, like you really, for example, at the same time though, prove it that at the same time your job is basically basically polishing and improving it basically or anything like that. But anyhow, it's like been like toughy on that action with Amazon job applies. And so for example, then today I wake up doing again all of this interview with in a LinkedIn job about traveling agent. There was no business name at the same time who I'm having an interview with, but I definitely had a second one this week basically, and it's just fraud, a scam. That person basically who was running this meeting, hundreds of people were involved. Supposedly their video chats are cut off. At the same time, some businesses don't require video chats, I guess, and basically and the word an audio you're muted and stuff like that. Perhaps she doesn't want to be bothered by a people at the same time because she doesn't feel comfortable, so she fakes like basically comments, like people basically ask questions congratulating her pregnancies on her first child or fifth, I don't know, she has 4 kids, she's pregnant at fifth maybe, and basically running all of this meeting, and she fakes everything, and she wanted subscription, for example, the fee should be paid, taxing me unwantedly basically to subscribe, for example, all the deals I could get basically with this business. Actually basically, oh my god, I videotaped her at the same time, and she was basically great. Like I blocked her additionally, and so this manager supposedly talking about it, basically that she is basically charge of it papers, she will sit in there tell us at the same time we'll get gifts, I don't know what it is, so random, we will be, she was talking about Wi-Fi connections and she has so many different ones, weird. Okay, so basically she doesn't have one like under business name or something, she'll be talking about management, she'll be talking about Christmas people want to be with, kind of laughing and being sarcastic and annoying at the same time. She was telling the people to get off at the same time if they are from India and other countries, and basically she's talking about work about her businesses, a evolution archer travel business, she's talking about it like in hundreds of different businesses that they work with, their marketing at the same time, you name it, all lies. Okay, and she get the subscription going, she was coughing and basically making it some errors, basically her stability, and she was just disrespectful at the same time. And you do not basically speak to somebody, get off, for example, from a chat or anybody, like you just don't do that, like that is rude. And I'm like we cannot reply her, she fakes that we're replying to her at the same time, and so stuff like that. And while that's one fraud, at the same time there are many different frauds. For example, obviously I have seen and they're gone through with job applying in this country, and basically I realize that some of the stuff that I'm going through that I want to talk about it, people would be like, want to know so much more, when it's like, again, I have a books, and it's written, for example, some in there, but even after I've done the books written, I still have not basically ended up basically going through all, like as much, because for example, like in a book I written stuff there, and then I realized that I didn't written it enough, and I realized that there is a big problem with it at the same time, that in access with unlimited, for example, at the same time in a world, like it will never be enough any activities. But regardless, I have a bunch of books, those have some stuff in there, really I'm never gonna be able to achieve basically enough activities in the books or anywhere, and basically, but then I want to write more obviously as well, but that is just some of the ways that I put out basically some stuff about me, and basically, or it's like about me, but at the same time it's just like basically about basically and other it's about me damage, perhaps it's about other people at the same time, and individuals basically, and they're basically things that they do, or it could be as well as like individuals values and stuff. And for example, and like I should not go on example. One time in America, somebody told me over the phone I sound like some unsophisticated, the P word. And so basically, I'm like, dude, like you can even speak, for example, honestly, in a ways that sophistication you could even reach, and you want to call me being unsophisticated in English, but never mind, just because of it, example, and I just mean obviously example, and then I'm gonna have somebody tell me that I sound unsophisticated talking to me, and when they could never ever basically improve themselves. But anyhow, I don't want to say that too many times. And basically that so so yeah, I like more like combining of a high interest, high techniques that I involve in it, basically writing. And the writing, I got you write stories and different types of the stories. And I also have obviously memoir and biography, but that's like basically I written in 2015, and I never ended up basically writing enough in a book, which I split it into three books, and it was long. But since then I haven't written anything, and obviously that's bad because, for example, there's like in a book in a year I should have written it about myself, because that's how much, for example, basically I can basically create and basically invent, and basically and a lot of reasons, obviously. I thought a lot of reason was writing, I but it came a little bit more than that. Basically sharing it, basically stories, and I wanted to be influenced, basically, after I've looked at books and reading it that I had written it, I definitely think that a lot of basically cognitive development, language development, it would be perfect for that as well. By looking at it in America, being influenced by lots of literature and how far it has gone, basically businesses, for example, by the books publishing, and basically how far it impacts the industry of entertainment. I definitely thought that it would hold big, basically, and entertainment, basically industries, including obviously acting and movies and actors. It will influence perhaps basically whole entire the country by that point. I mean, if you were able to write things that could basically and go anywhere, any hints in a business where they are basically making a movies, and basically and if it's like opposite from it, like if they could use basically like the writing or something like that, if they could use it oppositely, for example, like something they have invented, I mean, like I'm better at English, basically if they can use it for business developments or something, I suppose. At the same time, like what would they use writing and basically and useful, and if it's outside from it, they're generating content or something, I'm like, well, it will definitely go and some entertainment directions. And so I'm like, yeah, like I've thought about it, that, and so yeah, that's like where I should concentrate, in my opinion, where I want to obviously my very hard and very dedicated, basically like interest, for example, is in it. It is basically lots of creativity involved in it, and basically and very creativity involved in it, that involved in the topic. Another one, for example, about creativity, how creativity, for example, at the same time we can go, for example, our imaginations, and that one is like not the one. But that most of them I could write a book basically in a day, and basically, but will it get published, for example, there is an example, would it get published, that's the thing, the biggest block, biggest damage and a risk, probably not. And I don't live multiple lives, so basically I'm obviously agent to a degree that I don't want to sit in there complain, because it's useless. But so not fair, because we cannot go backwards at the same time, and you cannot be like, hey, the work that she's doing, it's related to that, for example, at the same time age, and for example that era, and then for example that she was able to basically benefit this and her identity, like somebody would benefit basically living. You take my living with the time. And it's like hard like that. But like lots of influencers that exist out there at the same time, very big influencer on it, for example, um you know uh and you just sit in there, and you know they're very big on it, for example, inspiration stimulations, and it's like you just get things done, and you get things done, and that's what you do. Okay, you cannot worry about it, basically. The agent, and not to mention that like anything that I do, it's like for example, very big, for example, influence that I wanted to have on the people, and then basically support my son, and it's like really big deal about it, how important it is, basically at the same time, how influencing people, and basically my son, and in my son's well-being, and taking care of my son, and and how it will affect my son, and how my son will benefit, and basically it holds a big basically influence on people. So basically it's like that's just how it is. So people influence me, and I basically are built by it, some people's influence, and it's given me big spirits, and it's given me big motivation, and some people definitely. And so basically that so it is what it is. I'm like, I will sit in there and keep working on publishing my book. Recently, what I wanted to do is that self-publishing is a little bit like advertising, pay for this or pay for that. And so basically I'm like, okay, it's not the only thing, like really. It's also like, even if my kid doesn't live with me, it doesn't matter, like socks he needs or something. Obviously, for example, I want to make sure that I'm able to basically get that for him. And so basically, even if, for example, that I don't have millions, I still want to be able to make sure that besides all my writing that I want to do, and all my books that I want to do, and basically and create that, and for example, and that works, and everything, for example, that requires with it at the same time, basically publishing a book, and time that requires, and developing all of that. And yeah, of course, every penny of that at the same time, it's related to with my son, and the conditions that it requires writing on books and everything. That's also unfortunately not best thing for my son to be influenced by it. And so I guess thank God that he doesn't live with me, because that would be really difficult. Honestly, I don't sit it in there and conveniently, for example, use a restroom at the same time. Never mind basically me parenting and stuff like that. So it's just really hard, and really like bad influence, really difficult. Of course, anybody who writes a book might be difficult, but basically if their life is a little bit more stable with the money, they can set it in there, hire basically nannies, house cleaners, and maybe have family assistant. I don't got that. And so basically that it will not ever be basically a doable, and it is such a bad basically conditions and circumstances, bottom of the line, straight up, no joke, at the same time, ever any child to be basically put in a situation that I am in it. And that would never basically be good situation to put it in. Okay, that writing is complicated, publishing is complicated, okay, and all of these types of situations at the same time, filling as well, it's complicated. It is not for basically children. And so there's like a lot of stuff like that. I do want to obviously any spell on books or something corrected, but that's also gonna take obviously money and things and a time to basically fix that. And so I obviously, any types of mistakes that exist for spelling, I do want all of that basically to be corrected as well. And so my son staying with my adopted father, it's useful for him without obviously something that he could possibly manage, for example, as his beliefs or something. But there's food there, he has a roof over his head, and basically he goes and what I heard in one of the top schools in a country. So basically, that's what the game is at the same time, that he goes in a good school and basically, and he has education and stuff like that. But like again, I don't want to basically talk too much about it because it's like really hard. Bottom of the line is like, so what if he goes in a good school? A lot of people were saying it, like, will other people give up their kids at the same time? Will Americans give up their kids and in my country? Will Ukrainians send them in America? And so it's not basically a topic that I can easily talk about it really, but at least like he does go in a good school regardless what it means, and for example get an education, and so stuff like that. Anyhow, I'm basically um um I am basically have okay, yeah, and the other one is like I'm going through like a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, I actually then ended up reading as my hands clean. Yeah, I went in a double sank. I went in a recently police station, and I ended up picking it up something from there, but there's been like reports I have made there obviously as well, stressing me out, and I didn't read their basically reports because I actually needed something, I thought. But with that lawyer, I didn't want to read the reports basically for myself and basically deal with it, basically like reports that are basically illegally written. I didn't want to deal with a lot of stress, and so I've been complaining obviously and tried with the police, like basically sexual assaults and rape for since 2021 or something, or 2022. And basically they ended up majority of my reports, they then ended up taking it, for example, by disorderly conduct. And basically the officer sits there, and I'll call him officer because I don't want to swear, but basically I gotta go do something, and he abruptly bounces it. But the vibes between people and me and him were like not existent at the same time, and I brought it basically like perpetrators' names, and I type up in the library at the same time report and set in, just because I thought it will help him with spelling and basically condition of his job, and he can just take that. But originally he really did not ended up basically taking the reports. I mean, did I mention his address at the same time? I hope I didn't. I don't know how to go back at the same time on this video and correct that one. But no, not what I want to mention it. But anyhow, basically, and he was like really, in my opinion, really, disordered. He was like just not listening. He was really, for example, and emotionally, for example, at the same time, in my opinion, disruptive and not right, and like with his behaviors, and he was really disregarding emotionally, in my opinion, and acting emotionally really disregarding, and like he's looking at my material that I brought, my reports basically in library. I typed it up, and about incidents and crimes, and I brought it basically perpetrators information, everything, but he just pasting these information. Like he's unable to read, unable to report at the same time. And basically, disregarding basically me, for example, with his emotions, and basically, and he's damaging acting with like damaging me with his basically emotional, basically that techniques and stuff. And basically, so I didn't get any positive vibes that were sure related to it, like how police will like break their backs for it, for the victims. But anyhow, that was pretty bad. And he walks out of the job telling me somebody will contact me. And so from that point, basically, and even before that, I was dealing with it, like lots of like mental, for example, issues. And basically hard, really hard, for example, my situation, to basically at the same time as well to deal with it, things like that. And basically that one added like so much issues, like I can feel basically tingling in my skin and everywhere, and heat, and like having like heat problems, basically, and basically in my body, and having basically just heated, and anger, things like that, and just feeling overwhelmed and feeling empty, and everything that somebody can feel basically just worsen. But the worsen is very difficult. Like you look at it every event, and it's like you really think it's getting worse. And so basically, yeah, it's just like you have to look at it basically every event, and you have to look at it everything, and basically, so that's how I get the worst, by the fact that I have passed, and everything basically that is bad. And so basically that so they didn't do anything. He told me that somebody will contact me, and nobody did contact me, and basically, and left me basically without like investigation. I guess police supposed to do AD reports at the same time and stuff like that, pass on to them. And there's like basically that didn't happen as well at the same time, with some massive basically crimes reported it basically to them. But he did basically interfere reporting it, even basically more crimes that related to categories of it: rape, sexual assault at the same time, and domestic, and basically abuse, and other repeatedly harassments, and repeatedly abuse, and basically lots of it. It takes like lots of basically laws that somebody violates by, for example, based on their behaviors. And it takes a lot of terms, for example, as well, for example, to, and legally to, for example, look at it basically, like that explaining the process of it, basically, of like whole content, whole basically incidents. It takes like lots of in there. So basically, he prevented it basically, reporting it, involving investigations, preventing it, taking the basically these crimes and stories, and fact that I brought it basically these people's names for intent of reporting it. And he basically walks out of the job and basically takes few people's names. I shall not mention it basically on this video, just for because it's a court things, and a court things stay court things, instead of them becoming like just widely known. And so it's not, for example, like idealistic, for example, at the same time, and them being widely known. I mean, mainly they deserve it, like a prison, not like anything else. And so basically, just like I got deprived, for example, obviously living, I got deprived as well, basically a lot of things. They impact me financially, they impact me in my life, for example, they impact me mentally as well, boldly, I should call it, when you impact somebody boldly, like so many different ways. The mentally, okay, that'll be boldly, like each business impacts like boldly differently. And basically, and they can anyhow, even if they could all achieve it, like killing somebody basically based on suicide, and that would be massive, basically boldly situation, that'll be like a murder, I guess. But my stomach pants I'm wearing is tight, it's like ow, ow, wow. Okay. And basically, And I ended up basically a few times went in there and reported it as well. Basically, I and a stalking, and I reported it with them, stuff like that. And recently as well, like in the September, I also had to basically repeat. Before September, I also, for example, had to report them at the same time. And basically, assault and attempts of it, basically rape and basically stalking and all of these, and then it proceeded to with basically online violations at the same time, and somebody is like bragging about it online, basically raping me and stuff, and calling me names and stuff, and so I had to report that, and basically, and each time it's like same police officer. I have met somebody named Marlene or something, and worked on it from an early case, basically in February or something. I forgot the date. I forgot a date exactly. One time I saw some person basically, and police station originally, and I got a history here, but um it's paper clipped. Oh my god, I didn't want to undo it probably because I'm not sure what it was paper clipped for. I want to keep it separated, like how it was. I don't know what it was. 2021, 9/27, I was there, and basically I was there 9/27, 2021. Maybe that was the case. I wonder what was the case of this paper clip. Where do I put it? I wonder where I put this paper case. I'm not sure. Paper clip, not guaranteed where it goes. And basically, and yeah, and it's just like, besides that, and one other police around that time, it wasn't about me seeing it. It's been basically, only reason I'm saying this is that basically, since basically, few individuals, detective, for example, and that two other police around that time I have seen it. There was same police, for example, involved in it each time. Basically, I ended up calling or complaining and reporting it. And that police officer is the one who's responsible with all the history just about at the same time. And basically, he's the one who basically, and his nature, for example, it's a problem. And basically, he picks up some reason each time he ended up picking it up. Basically, each time I actually complain and go to a police office, he will be the one on the job some reason. And, his conduct basically was just disorderly, and disorderly conduct is not like you drink publicly. I mean, he freaking obviously abuses drugs because that's obvious, for example, every way with his behaviors. But anyhow, in courts of America, we do drug tests, and I am not the one that he will be able to at the same time trade, okay, his drug test results. But anyhow, regardless, he obviously is not that violent or something. It's just like a shaman, and including fact that shaman beacon from it, that like his job, that he's like below basically reporting and basically spelling, and basically how they don't want to use it, basically language, United States of language and English, basically on their job, like as their failures. But at the same time, and anybody who disrespects me, I am gonna use it basically like you are using your job and your job conditions. You can even meet, you can even spell, but you can even sit and make reports, but you have a right, for example, misuse it basically at the same time, me and laws, like you have no right to want that. he was reckless in my opinion with, and regardless not, and fighting me or something like that. But for example, sure, he was triggering it basically perhaps for these types of, for example, fighting and getting me angry based on, for example, how he was like eye rolling or basically just like acting emotionally, for example, disruptive at the same time and lying a lot. And this definitely could be like massive basically just like finger pointed for me, and it could trigger me basically being like pretty upset and stuff like that, and I could be like basically feeling that I might yell or something, which I don't want to, because it's like really bad, right? To act basically and to engage in a fight and engage in arguments, and it's like really bad, right? And basically and I feel like he was intentionally provoking me, but I mean to the point like it's severe though. To provoke calling somebody a stupid, it's even more severe than that. He's like very much basically acting, for example, at the same time, just like disturbing. And for example, some of the ways like, for example, he just has like really basically mental, for example, at the same time, damage. He's lying at the same time. And for example, he is basically emotionally, basically I mean, he's shaming me emotionally without basically perhaps verbal purposes, or but he's using it verbal purposes, nothing that it is basically like that in an ad any more than, for example, it's just like involves in it like the whole his job that he is basically at the same time abusing it. And so basically I have gone through so much, for example, problems with that. And basically, he even shows up at my apartment at the same time because, for example, this is when I felt, for example, at the same time, way, 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 for example, like legitimately, I almost cried at the same time. He is basically trying to get in my face at the same time and tell me, why are you calling? And for example, tell me, what did you say? For example, at the same time, and trying to convince me to tell him what I'm saying, calling, for example, in the station. I was calling the basically chief to basically tell him that I don't feel like that he's doing his job accurately. And I'm like, you don't have a right taking my head, showing up basically on my property, stalking me, okay? And so I bit my tongue and I didn't engage confronting him, and I told him at the same time, I'm just calling because I have difficulty, obviously, dealing with it. That everything I want to report, I don't feel like something is being done. And so I basically told him, and briefly, but anyhow, he is like gets involved in it, talk about it at the same time, this rapist, and he'll ended up basically rusting what he looks like, what his height is, and basically ended up basically and I said this to him at the station, and he is basically, and for example, ended up using it very highly at the same time, failure. I was gonna say flawless, but for example, not flawless, like it's perfect. Using the behaviors that are in the nature of it, and for example, committing, for example, crimes, harassment, for example, and basically that now example goes on 50 times, but he is asking me height of it, this rapist, and what he looks like, and for example, and his name, his address on repeatedly for no reason, and on my property, when given a fact that I went in a police station, I reported him, and he shows up in my place asking about it, him, for example, and randomly, and basically to harass me. He wanted me to go basically perhaps like this 72-hour hospital, for example, lock up, for example, the hospital, not what he called the 72-hour basically hospital, for example, that like 72-hour hospital hall. He was not calling that. that. He was not referring to 72 hospital mental locked up or something. He wasn't calling that. I just had that. For example, they let me go before 72 hours, but basically, and different police basically violated me. But for example, he wasn't mentioning it that this will be the basically psychiatric hold or something or something. He just was wanted me basically going around the corners and trying to basically say that I could basically try that, like waste my time. And so basically, because he wasn't being bold about it, that he didn't accomplish that. He left from the property at the same time. But he sure did show up on my property without legal reason and provided harassments and, for example, big basically violations, for example, of the laws, basically practicing laws, for example, backwards, opposite, and basically and misbehaving. And so that was, for example, obviously absolutely outrageous and bizarre. And basically, he thinks he has the right showing up on my property without like calling him to show up on my property. Like without, he even said I was like going out, so I decided to stop by here. So he even basically mentioned that he'll stop by my place, for example, as he wanted to. And basically, so I've been dealing with this since 2021. Basically lots of stuff with that, and basically obviously every day has blown you. And I try to be positive, but for example, really least to say, and it has sucked. And basically, and continues, and basically then it continued, obviously. No problem picked up about that one. He wanted me to go and court and concord and basically file, for example, crimes against them. And I'm like, no. For example, I've been in a concord court. You don't go there with that. For example, at the same time, I'm lawyers, and who you think I am filing a crimes, for example, against perpetrator? You need, for example, at the same time, and basically lawyers and not there, and you need some authority, you need some, for example, prosecutors, you need all these type of the stuff. I'm like, this person is like lying, and he's basically messed up. Like, he's just straight up lying. And so that never happened. And so it's crazy, but really least you stating about it, that police, for example, behaviors is that it's a very disturbing at the same time, and it's like really basically unwanted, basically his behaviors at the same time. He has basically and degraded me based on his behavior, and multiple ways at the same time. He has made me, for example, look less. He obviously has impacted my justice. He obviously is responsible, obviously impacted my finances. He's responsible, impacted me mentally. He's like really insanely has caused me so much problems. And unfortunately, this September, I also had to call 911, report it, and for example, harassment and basically threats and basically online exposures, you name it, online basically stalking intentionally on my Facebook, and for example, texting, messaging, and yet same exact person. Okay, and again, he just acts like I don't speak English, and basically, and he fakes it. Like, what did you say? And I don't get it. I don't get it. He like just fakes basically, and he just acts basically disregarding, and basically when someone basically just fakes it like they didn't set it in there, and basically understand you, like just basically making it up that basically, and behavior with their behavior problems. And then it's like he engages in what he wants to engage in it. So like he doesn't understand me, but he'll end up basically engaging in what he wants, what he thinks, and stuff like that. And I don't know, he took his picture shots of my phone, and that was like people who I was reporting it, and basically emailing me, and I didn't feel like him doing that, because for example, like you need to be able to have like trial for this. But anyhow, I allowed him take it. some shots, but I was still bigger on it. Like, this is an invasion and intrusive because, for example, this, like, to do that, it requires like doing a trial. And this is, for example, obviously he's not doing this, for example, at the same time for my justice. So this is like, for example, another problem. For example, I think every problem. And so if he's not gonna be basically on my side and basically support basically laws, then it's like a big problem him doing that. And every theory. And so basically, I've been, he told me if they come near me, he will end up arresting them. But that's all he said. I'm on all other, for example, laws violations and basically, for example, problems that he has, for example, mentally and, for example, being a basically disoriented, disordered, and have severe problems with his mental issues. He has at least ADHD, okay? And so basically, that and so basically nothing else. And it's like mentally there's so much, for example, to deal with it in every way, impacting my employment, impacting me mentally, impacting my identity at the same time, impacting my rights, impacting everything in my life. I also, for example, 2021 or something, or 20, I also was banned from a college, and that's another thing been impacting me mentally. Basically, that I was banned for no reason from my college. Like, basically, I, obviously had big failures going to a college, basically in my circumstances. And I was like, I tried going in and basically, first of all, I didn't know college names. And basically, I ended up basically, got basically kicked out, for example, by people, my adopted family, for example, and then I had no home, and then I had to go basically in a woman's shelter. And then I did not know like how many colleges existed and how I could go in one, but there were lots of colleges I was interested in. I was able to discover basically online and basically and just able to discover it at the same time like a Newton College, BU, at the same time Boston College and Emirates universities, and they all have tuitions or something, if that's how you say it. And but I have a son, and he's basically like 5, and basically, and I'm not sure how to basically with a lot of issues with basically shaming and deal with them basically stress and raise a child and these circumstances and basically able to and the socially, for example, dealing with the shaming as well. There was a problems with it other people as well, and basically my interactions now basically just being kicked out basically from basically home. And basically I had a difficulty how I would go there. Regardless, I ended up basically in a court as well, and I ended up a few years in a shelter. It took a long time, and basically and then ended up in a court with my child's father because basically I accidentally had basically tea water spill slightly on his foot. It was like basically was jumping on a chair and on a bed, and like a little bit of dots of it, tiny amount water got on a chair he was jumping on. It was to fall on the floor, thank God, but it basically burned his foot. And that basically it caused me basically a conflict between his father, even though his father caused a lot of problems, and it would have been basically just genius that my son basically wasn't hurt. And then and then his problems basically that that he has endless problems. He has an endless problem constantly. But anyhow, he used that against me unfairly, and basically we go supposedly some joint custody, and basically but he takes away him, and he's just not obeying it, basically any types of it, the rules. And there's massive basically conflict between basically me and him about the child. Eventually he ended up giving him the back because basically he was complaining about it, drug usage, somebody accusing of him, basically him being a woman abuser and for example child abuser, and basically he gives him back. And this is like after he has spent a year and a half with him, and he says that judge will he's afraid of judge decisions and judgment, and he might not give him my son, and everything's going on for him, and he gives him back after basically so much basically problems that he has caused and my kid trauma. And basically that and I forgot why I'm mentioning him now any more than basically I want to be basically careful what I said and stated it, and basically without basically a court and legal basically situations, but I forgot it. And anyhow, so yeah, I ended up dying and living in a shelter, probably what it was. And then basically, I moved in the land. I could not do this college, and I was not any college applying. And I applied basically Bunker Hill Community College for early child, for example, childhood development and criminal justice. I cannot attend. When I moved in a land, it was out of the way, and basically bottom of the line with like a massive like no support, and basically by myself and neglected. I was like really going around basically and not doing well to do that as well. I also had issues running into way basically like a drug interactions, diet drugs, toxicity, and then, for example, I also had drug interactions, combinations of malpractice and together, and I almost lost my life, and basically as well, and I had like problems with it earlier on, basically, few malpractices, intercounts with it, obviously, basically failures and medically, like doctor treatments, and basically that issue was the doctor treatments. You go emergency room, basic things, but basically at the same time they were basically causing malpractice and negligence and many other misconducts, and causing me, for example, obvious jeopardizing me at the same time on health and stuff, but that's interacting with it basically with like diet drugs, which obviously caused me basically just like toxic. It caused me, for example, like toxicity and then in my body and stuff like that. And so it was like hazardous combination of that. And basically I couldn't sit in there due with these circumstances a lot as well. And this is something that was unknown from the beginning, even awareness that I was going through it. Well, I am going through it at the same time. All other basically conditions and all other basically things that are around basically the nature of things. And basically, and you got everything. And then I moved even from there, and my during my child also basically comes living back to me, and here he lives with me. Then, for example, he was basically during the summer at the same time changed. I mentioned basically topic my adopted father, and he takes him, and we altered basically his living situation. Like there or not, at the same time, I went along basically changing that, and I moved as well. And basically, I've barely seen my kid. I do keep in contact with him, but basically, he's better using a phone. He's young and basically doesn't take responsibility of that. But I have tried calling him a lot of the times, and basically and physically, I have barely seen him many years, and basically that's also been less enjoyable, and obviously lots of basically problems. And it's like I've seen a therapist basically 3 years out of these years, and basically I'm also supposedly getting another one online, like I guess um um I'm like, there's advertisements popping. Yeah, I'm like, advertisements popping everywhere, and I'm like, yep, this needs power wash. Like this computer needs power wash because um it's like there's a lot of advertisements, and it's like your computer is damaged, somebody's downloading your stuff, and I'm like, I need to do power wash, and I was like dedicated in that today as well to run power wash on this. But anyhow, basically I forgot it, but yeah, I'm getting another therapist or something, and they want to do online. They're out of therapists, but I tried applying a therapist again at the same time as well for Concord. They're like located in Concord, but they never contacted me. So I've been basically by myself, basically about their issues. And the therapist, basically, I find them useful applying jobs and stuff like that, but not really useful. I don't find them useful at the same time, basically anything else. And so basically, I ended up like walking out basically, for example, from a therapy, and after basically like chaos, like I was applied on a SSI and SSDI. Okay, I think however you say it, that SSDI. Okay, applications, both of them, which I didn't understand the difference between of them. And somebody, for example, named Rebecca applies me basically. I should have stated her last name instead. There's different Rebeccas that exist. Laughing my ass off. And basically, but anyhow, she applies me on it, and she contacts me, for example, unknown number. And for example, and she tells me, oh, like she's contacting me if my name is blah 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 and everything, and she's basically violating my privacy, and I says there to help me apply basically this is DI, thanks. And I'm like, how do you got my name? She doesn't mention it, and basically I hang up the phone on her. And basically, then I was seeing a therapist I mentioned to her. And basically, she found, for example, some information. Regardless, she comes, for example, and with me meeting at the same time to apply it because I didn't have, for example, a bug on my name that while I was raising my kid. And basically, I was put it on the like this child support, for example, and he paid when basically he can, but for example that should be stated. I was supposed to basically make in America, for example, with the living at the same time. You cannot make in a shelter with us. So basically it's like a lot of issues, and basically that and I'm like, he also, oh yeah, I don't want to go into a child support. Basically, anyhow, regardless, I ended up basically having a massively basically no money, and for example all my life. So basically, and they put her on it basically for emergency, and basically and so like I can go and get like the money for like buy like tampons at the same time and basic things if it's possible, because for example like bills and basically the pressure on that. And basically, so she tells me, and so I'm first basically in this, and she tells me, like I rolls, I'll end up signing you up for a SSI, and I'll end up signing you up for SSDI, which I have no idea what are they. I just expect getting the money. So she does. And basically, a lot of time goes by it, and basically that I'm having a difficulty that's taking a week or something. I don't receive any money. And basically that somebody contacts me, and basically her last name is not her last name, first name is Luz or something. And basically she tells me that basically she's rude, and basically, and I don't like that. And she basically tells me that I gotta plug this in. Hey, we don't find you disabled. And so, for example, will you sit in there, go to a doctor? For example, I gotta plug this in, basically. Plug this in. I gotta plug this in. Okay, I don't like the spark sound. It's scary. Plug it. Is it working now? Plug. I don't know. And basically, I'm like, will I go see a doctor? I thought the doctors will give me shots, or these doctors at the same time will do CAT scans, and basically they're dangerous, and basically it's illegal. Basically things you do, and I was very feeling anxiety and basically stressed about it. I was feeling stressed about um basically like now it's plugged and charging. Okay. Um I was feeling a little stressed and feeling like the spark is so annoying. I don't want things. I was feeling stressed and she was really annoying and bully and she bothered me so much and I'm sure everybody would be bothered by her. And I complain about her a lot. Took advantage of it, complaining about her because I really could not deal with her, and so I did, and I asked people to complain it to her boss about her. But regardless, I said, she says you should get basically maybe 2021 you should, or either 2021 or 2022 you should get, for example, the benefits. You need to see a doctor, and for example we will set in their SSA and give you, for example, the appointment. And for example, and she is like basically acting like a sarcastic or something, or bullying tones, and basically in a voice, and basically like that I will see a doctor, and I'm like, she's like, G agree. Again, while all of this cartoon, like I really think that she is basically unethical, and she's basically just like not basically speaking normal, and she's like just a bully. But I'm like, yes, I agree with her because basically I have gone through so much. For example, confidentiality and privacies, and I've gone through a lot of basically stuff for basically like fuck that they applied me with SSA, and people who were basically in these positions. And I'm like, yes, I guess, even though I'm not sure what I'm doing at the same time and where I'm gonna go with it, how basically I'm gonna deal with it. So they never contacted me. Bottom of the line, there was a caseworker that I had, and her name is Victoria. And Victoria, I mean, it took over Rebecca because Rebecca drops unknowingly, but she lies that she's not in the distance. But the replacement wasn't her, basically, job field and basically multiple fields, and they don't have a distance requirements too much at the same time. They go from Masagas, for example, and all over the place. But the replacement wanted was same exact stuff. She's coming from Masagas, but for example, Saugus, Massachusetts. But for example, perhaps that was going through a lot of stress. She did not like dealing with me. So, for example, she faked it that, she is basically, she cannot do the job based on distance, even though that nobody forced her. And for example, she picked the case. She contacted me, and I did multiple times ask her basically how she heard about me. And basically, she lies, for example, intentionally and consciously. And she says, for example, smirking. I actually forgot it at the same time. And so she never mentioned that. And it's like basically, perjury at least, and including defamation. It's like, how could you possibly at the same time? And for example, not telling me the truth, where do you, and truth about anything, but including where you basically got my name. She left, and somebody else comes. That's Victoria. But anyhow, Victoria will basically and work as, I have no idea her scope, but based on it, basically, I've done taxes with her, but including basically she will work with SSA at the same time. Statuses of it, where's the benefits? Okay. And so basically, benefits don't come through. This basically, doctor's appointment don't come through it. And basically, I've never received benefits with, for example, this disability SSDI. And they ended up giving me SSI that they said that information of me being disability, for example, is not proven, regardless what anybody says. And information submitted to them says to me it's the income that I don't have at the same time. And because of that, I guess so, at the same time, the worker says, I guess because of your income, we'll give you, for example, and she was like feeling like really like basically as if like she doesn't want to give it to me, this SSI. And for example, and they ended up basically so denying it SSDI and basically giving me SSI, okay, for emergency, not having basically income. And basically, so all of this comes with a bunch of failures, and it comes with it so much, for example, to deal with it, basically, mentally, and obviously bunch of obviously money damage, and it comes with a bunch of defamations, and basically it comes with it, basically lots of slanders. It comes with lots of like people basically the behaviors that are basically either fraudulent or deceptive, but lying and misusing it, basically me for one, but including it information, misusing the information. I guess I don't know how I will fall down to it. Basically, somebody treated me like, for example, like no money. For example, I will ended up getting and doing anything, but I'll just collect, for example, SSDI or SSI by themselves. And that's how basically I come down to somebody's basically the rights and taking mine away. And so basically, of course, there's a bunch of basically details and there's a bunch of information basically about all of this, and some like it will require endless time and basically take years. I will age, and then all other ones it's like should be prohibited. It should be like basically only, for example, used for the justice purposes. And so basically that's been makeup is itchy. That's been really difficult dealing with it by myself, all by myself. I live by myself, and basically I sleep alone. How people say it's lonely and stuff like that, and it's uncomfortable. And basically and stuff like that, and I guess, and then it's like I'm neglected by myself. I'm bending myself. It's all circumstances. And far as like abuse goes, I mean there is no such a thing of bullying and no abuse at the same time. And there's past obviously, and there's basically constant basically like constant basically triggers basically. I suppose what I should call it, like nightmares, and basically I should call it nightmares or flashbacks, but they're constant triggers of that. But it's also like there's nowhere in this country at the same time bullying and abuse just does not basically happen, okay? Then, combination of that, I am me, I am a Terry, and I live by myself, and for example, basically, and I'm like responsible for example, like me, supposing myself, for example, in this country. At the same time, it's unreal, and basically, I'm responsible for like basically bills. I'm responsible basically, supposedly, managing a loss. I'm responsible for supposedly like everything and harassments or basically any aspects of everything in America. And in the United States of America, anything. I'm supposedly responsible for employment. For example, I'm supposedly responsible basically at the same time. Other people's sexualities, I'm responsible for their religions, I'm responsible for everything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. This is America. And basically, okay. and their America, how they vent them, their basically mental illness, and basically and how they vent, for example, at the same time their privileges and things like that or something, and then for example their psychology or something, and anyhow mainly they have more like mental, for example, problems and failures. But basically, yeah, I am by myself, basically, constantly, and constantly I deal with it. Like for example, some type of political issues, or I deal with it. Some types of basically bullying or harassment, I deal with it. Some, financial issues, obviously, bunch, and I deal with it. Basically, something basically that on failures of Americans, basically, and their the behaviors that I guess the way easiest way demonstrating it is like abuse, and basically at the same time, and misuse, for example, obviously of it, businesses misusing of it, basically my time, and basically they're trying to basically ended up basically like defaming me, okay, my character. And easiest ways of it, obviously there's like lots to explain in there. And basically, again, like coming from a different countries, a lot of people, for example, talk about it, that must be like shocking differences racially. Yes, I suppose, yes, that shocking is sure is triggered. I mean, I never realized that in my life, but that is sure alive. That it is really, really alive. Okay. Again, there has been very uncomfortabilities with the at the same time, and continues to be, and it's embarrassing, it's shaming, it's hard dealing with it. It's humiliating, it's degrading. And for example, that's what I will say. For example, briefly, there's a lot of things in there. And it is like absolutely and basically human degrading experience on this planet, devaluing it that I ever go through on my life, additionally. Okay. And so again, all of this American language is fantasies anyhow. Okay, so my anger like is related to it, obviously, for example. So lots of anger it's related to this, but I should not be angry, and I'm a positive person and stuff like that, and I should not be angry at all. And basically, and then basically, like I said, so out of therapy, achieving basically, for example, and some other person party SSA applications, that was absolutely at the same time, and basically SSA, for example, at the same time, and completely basically misused, not by me, at the same time, by everybody, for example, who in this country can join with their basically behaviors and views and stuff completely, and basically, and I really have, for example, no choice, and ever had any choice, basically, my home where I live, and for example, money I have, anything. So basically, I haven't had options like that, so I had to basically go along with it, basically, not abuse, like I accept abuse, but I have to go along with it when they say, and we're gonna apply you, for example, SSA, I have to go along with it additionally, which is so degraded, and physically degraded, and then I suppose mentally, you have to combine the English together, and basically every scene, and basically that it's just like really crazy, and demeaning, and stuff like that. And by now receiving the SSDI benefits, they were like telling me I'm responsible getting, for example, like $20,000 for retroactive payments, that I believe it was supposed to be more than 20,000, for example, because that goes by since I was disabled. But since I've been in this country age 11, I've been disabled. And it's not freaking gone around fair. It was like inaccurately basically calculated additionally, and basically every penny I need to use on my son, for example, for damages that he got. And so my son basically can get assistance, and basically they did not give me retroactive payments, and they did not find me eligible for SSDI, and they never paid me, for example, any of those payments. Unfair at the same time. And of course there is, for example, nobody, for example, supporting me at the same time. So basically there is like nothing that I can do. Basically I cannot go my country visit there. I cannot go take vacations, go Disneyland. I cannot publish my books, and I can open up businesses. I cannot get loans either or anything like that. And basically, anyhow, of course, basically, that SSDI, basically retroactive payments, for example, that is to pay for my kid whatever I could pay for it, and that is to assist my kid for damages and everything. And it is really disgusting, and it is really obviously humiliating that basically bottom of the line is, for example, I am entitled to the money and I don't have the money. Okay. And basically it is really bizarre. And for example, all the stuff basically I've been putting through, for example, and I don't have basically those benefits, and I don't have that to give it to, for example, my son. And after basically all of basically stuff that I go through, and basically that of course Americans are jealous, basically these people that I consider in there, and basically saying it that I have witnessed in my life and seen it. And I can basically point, besides when I was like 11 or 12, judge told me that they were, for example, jealous and envious people. So we are going years and years, and that has not stopped. And that has come basically like my reality, and that's unfair. There are lots of people who take advantage of me unfairly, and they try and they will constantly and stuff like that. And basically my that sucks. But yeah, I do basically want to basically obviously I said I really like a podcast and idea. I don't have opportunity for somebody videotapes me, and I'm like, isn't that easier because I have office and basically set up basic background, and and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't have that, and I'm like really discouraged making, for example, one. And then just to basically tell a lot of stories. But then I need to write a lot, and I work on basically writing a lot. So if I'm not doing podcast, then I'm writing and I'm writing, and I'm creating, and either way, and basically just massively influenced basically world, and basically just like massively influenced by stories, but including cognitive, for example, development and beliefs. And it's really hard basically how I could influence like that in a writing. You would need basically like a lots of it to create in a writing, and basically many people need to adopt this in their businesses, and it needs to basically make it, for example, advertising. It needs to make it promote. There needs to be promotions, and basically many different basically access all of this. But I have a plan, for example, till I die and lose, for example, my breath. I have a plan that basically write as much as I can. And unfortunately, publishing businesses and companies getting in a way prevented it. Publishing event that already I should have, for example, books and 100, for example, published, in a 1 year, but never mind previous years, but a lot published already. And this is basically big, basically fail, even though at the same time that I do create, I do write, and basically I use all types of technology writing, and influence, and basically people and their behaviors, and basically just many different basically, ethics and stuff and influence, and it's a really big major goal. And so basically, if I'm not anywhere found, I'm found in there, I'm found writing, and either way. And so basically, I'm alive. I mean, like, I'm applying jobs for babysitter and things like that. And some job between, and to basically give my kid money and basically support him, basically help him pay for his college and stuff like that. And I'm alive, for example, and regardless, like, basically alive, and I'm seriously alive regardless. This year they tried killing me with drugs, too many drugs given me at the same time, and providing me massive, basically boldly, for example, injuries, impairments. They ended up basically abusing me, doctors at the same time shaming me, ambulance, for example, a team basically shaming me at the same time, and caused me so much, for example, mentally to lose at the same time. They included gave me shot in my vein, for example, as an assault, for example, in a hospital, and that hurt, for example, really long time at the same time, and basically that hurt. And for example, saying second times, and basically mentally was like trying to provide me like suicidal thoughts, but I was not suicide myself, but it was like so painful. And for example, mental pain that first time I have ever experienced it. And basically, I have gone through it basically as well, auditioning those things this year. But for example, I'm living, for example, I'm alive at the same time, and that's, for example, at the same time the big, for example, take at the same time. They will probably not kill me, try it, yes, but regardless anything, like, they have tried abusing me and boldly providing me damages, and for example attempting, for example, killing me, and many ways of it. Obviously trying to kill me, cause me mental, for example, damage, anxiety, depression, all of it, PTSD. Try to basically and kill me, basically, abuse, like, for example, them sitting there bullying me and trying to kill me, for example, cause me, for example, like this summer, for example, basically the liver, for example, at the same time, damage, for example, and try to kill me with drugs as well, and many other behaviors. That's a lot of, for example, attempt for it, trying somebody to basically kill me. And then locking finances, and all of the stuff, and them like just waiting basically for me to like go end my life, and just for haters, basically, especially people who abuse me, to just sit in there and be above me and make less of me. And so yeah, basically I'll probably be basically around and about and doing all types of the things, but this is basically something that I wanted to talk about it at the same time, and I wanted to talk about it like a really good video at the same time. But it is what it is. Maybe, for example, it's better than, for example, nothing. And so yeah, this is it for right now, because I gotta use the restroom again.